The smell of freshly brewed coffee filled the small cafe as sunlight spilled through the glass windows, painting golden lines on the worn-out wooden floor. Noah sat at the corner table, nervously fidgeting with his shirt sleeves. He wasn't used to this, dressing up, combing his hair twice, and waiting for someone he'd never met. For years, his life had revolved around just two things: his 8-year-old daughter, Hazel, and his job as a delivery driver. Love, laughter, and companionship had all been buried the day his wife left, unable to bear the weight of his struggling life. But today, his co-workers had insisted he take a chance. They'd set him up on a blind date, saying it was time he smiled again. He had no idea that behind their well-meaning laughter hid a cruel joke. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and life-changing surprises, then take a second to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Stories of Kindness. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need hope. Noah kept glancing at the door. Every time it opened, his heart would jump, only to fall again when it wasn't her. He had no photo, no description, just the name Clara. His friends had said she was beautiful, kind, and perfect for him. But as the minutes ticked by, the reality of being stood up began to sink in. He was about to leave when he heard the soft sound of a wheelchair rolling across the tiled floor. A woman, perhaps in her early 30s, entered, her brown hair tied neatly, her face glowing with quiet strength. She looked around nervously, scanning tables until her eyes met his. She hesitated, as if unsure, then rolled her wheelchair closer. "Noah?" she asked softly. He nodded, slightly startled but quickly smiled. "Clara?" She smiled, though her eyes carried a flicker of something deeper, maybe fear, maybe doubt. "I hope I'm not too late," she said. Noah stood up immediately, pulling out the chair opposite her and awkwardly trying to move the table to make room for her wheelchair. His hands trembled slightly, but his actions were full of genuine care. No, you're right on time," he said. At first, the conversation was hesitant. Clara asked about his daughter, and his face lit up when he talked about Hazel, her love for sketching, her obsession with stars, and how she made him breakfast on Sundays with burnt toast and orange juice. Clara laughed, her laughter soft but warm, like music he hadn't heard in years. But when she asked about his life, his job, his dreams, he paused. "Dreams," he repeated, almost laughing. "I stopped dreaming a long time ago. Now I just try to keep a roof over our heads." There was silence then, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It was the kind of silence where both people realized they'd met someone who understood loneliness. What Noah didn't know was that the friends who'd set this date up weren't being kind. They had told him he was meeting a model, a beautiful woman from the city, while they told Clara it was a casual charity meetup for disabled individuals. Both had been tricked for a cruel laugh. After the coffee date, Noah walked her to her car. She noticed his old shoes, his rough hands, and how carefully he lifted her bag into her trunk, as though it was precious. Before leaving, she smiled. "You're a good man, Noah," she said softly. He simply shrugged. "I just do what I can." He waved as she drove away, never knowing that someone from the cafe, one of his so-called friends, had recorded the entire thing, laughing about the single dad who didn't realize his date was in a wheelchair. That night, when the video went viral on a local gossip page, Noah became the center of cruel jokes. People mocked his nervous smile, his cheap shirt, the way he fumbled with the table. He wanted to disappear. But what broke him most was when Hazel came home from school in tears, saying her friends had shown her the funny video of her dad's date. Humiliated, he decided never to trust anyone again. He stopped going out, avoided conversations, and focused only on work. Days turned into weeks. Then, one afternoon, he got a call from an unknown number. The voice on the other end was calm, elegant, and familiar. "Noah, it's Clara," she said. He froze, unsure whether to feel comfort or shame. But before he could speak, she continued, "Can you come to Willow Heights tomorrow at 10 a.m.? There's something I need to tell you, something important." Willow Heights was the tallest glass building in the city, the kind of place Noah had never stepped foot inside. The next morning, wearing his cleanest shirt and clutching Hazel's drawing for good luck, he walked into the grand lobby. The receptionist smiled and directed him to the top floor. As the elevator doors opened, he stepped into a vast, sunlit office overlooking the city. And there, sitting behind the sleek mahogany desk, was Clara dressed in a crisp white blouse, her wheelchair beside her, and an air of quiet authority around her. Noah blinked in disbelief. "Clara? What is this place?" She smiled gently. "Welcome, Noah. I'm Clara Whitmore, CEO of Horizon Industries." For a moment, he couldn't breathe. This woman, the same one who had laughed softly over coffee and listened to his broken dreams, was one of the most powerful business figures in the city. Seeing his confusion, she continued, "That day at the cafe, I had no idea they were tricking us. I thought it was a charity meeting. When I saw the video online, I was furious, not because they mocked me, but because they mocked you. You didn't laugh. You didn't flinch. You treated me with dignity when others saw only my chair." Her voice trembled slightly. "I wanted to see you again, not out of pity, but because I saw something rare, kindness." Noah lowered his gaze, his voice barely a whisper. "I didn't do anything special." Clara shook her head. "You did. In a world full of people chasing attention, you were real." She handed him an envelope. "This is for you," she said. Inside was an offer letter, a full-time logistics supervisor position at her company, with a salary that made him blink twice. "But, why me?" he stammered. Clara smiled. "Because you deserve a chance to dream again, Noah. Everyone does."